Take 2 steps towards the open field of space for which to lie. There's so much to this life, it sits hard within my mind. You've got to live life.
Okay, today is paddle day number 97. Anyways, it should be paddle day number 97. I'm having a difficult time actually getting myself motivated to go. Just the status. First, I've been suffering from vertigo, like dizziness, nauseated syndrome, and I'm just trying to get that under control. Secondly, it's been super windy, up to between 30 and 40 knots, and the lake has been very just crazy. And the passage I'm going to go through now from Leland till Frankfurt is, as they say, one of the most difficult or dangerous passages. But every passage is dangerous if you don't protect yourself against the weather and against what's coming. And now I'm just going to head up to the girls at the pancake house at the breakfast center. I spent a lot of money. Food is so expensive. I went to a grocery store, and I didn't really look at the bill at the end, and I said, no, I don't need it. And then I was doing some banking, and I was at the store 3 days ago, doing banking yesterday, and so it was like $168. And in Norwegian currency, that's around like 1,700 kroner. And I thought, what? There's got to be a mistake. So I went back, and I asked the guy, and he printed out a receipt from 3 days ago. And it's correct. It's all correct, but expensive. Wow. I've spent much more money on food than I've accounted for. But I just got to get food inside me and get the weight back on. So paddle day 97, it'll happen, but probably not until later in the day.
There's so much to this life, it sits hard within my mind. You've got to live life better than your parents ever tried. And you sacrifice your time and then you sit back. And I hear you say, God damn, ain't this a beautiful world? Man, we got a beautiful world. And I said, God damn, ain't this a beautiful world? Life is a beautiful world.
Nature is beautiful. Yes.
I'm paddling by dunes that are the biggest dunes I've ever seen in the world. It's a brisk morning. It's around 8 o'clock, a bit cold, but a beautiful day. I'm at a place called Manistee. I've paddled from Frankfurt, not Frankfurt, but Frankfurt. And long paddle today. Long paddle. A lot of headwinds, and I was so happy to get here. I tried to stay at the Riverside Motel and Marina, but they're all closed down for the winter. And I'm just going to leave my kayak here, and I found another place to stay. There's going to be between 30 and 40 knot winds tomorrow, so I've just got to play it safe and don't do anything stupid. But here I am, continuing my journey, trying to make it to, I want to say Mexico, but I'm just trying to make it to Chicago. Manistee, Michigan. Well, here I am, Manistee. Man, I'm in trouble. It looks like a 7-day forecast of totally rain and high winds, and I don't know if I'm going to get stuck here or not. Day one here was a good day. I had basically two main goals. Number one was to find a breakfast place to eat, and there I met a lovely couple who I became friends with. And I've basically hung out there all the time I've been here. The second goal was to fix my paddle again. And that's a good story. I got it done with the help of a guy called DJ. Okay, I've encountered difficulties with my paddle oar again. And I've been scraping it down and trying to redo it. And I met a guy in the breakfast joint called DJ and had a great talk with him, and I was still there, and he went out to a hardware store and he got me this water weld bond. Water weld, it's supposed to be the world's strongest bond, so I'm going to try and redo it. Hopefully it'll work. The paddle, it held out for around 2.5 months, but still, when gear doesn't function, that really causes me a lot of anxiety. I'm having a lot of problems with gear. It's not what they say it is, but I guess that's part of learning. Day two in Manistee, I had a goal, and that was to find a place to stay. I can't afford the hotels, it's too much money. So I was along the boardwalk, and I came up to a boat called Princess, a tourist boat that just does, short tours around, taking tourists to lakes and rivers, etc. I met the captain called Al, 83 years of age. Had a talk with him, and I said, Al, can I ask you a question? He says, yeah. He says, do you mind if I sleep on your boat tonight? Oh, no problem. You can stay here and sleep here as long as you want, Mark. And to make a long story short, he had an excursion that afternoon with 100 senior citizens. They came from Rapid City, Michigan, and from other places. So I kind of became a little celebrity, and I ended up giving a small presentation on board, which was really fun to all the senior citizens. Okay, so this is the thing. The boat is full, and some of them don't even have seats, but they're going to be cold.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Is the volume okay?
around, going around with his violin. Lordy, how he played it, swayed it, made it. Oh, so beautiful. Analyze and
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit more crowded than normal down here.
Lordy, how he loves the certain dove. When then I would cry. Fiddle up, on your violin, lay right on it, rest it in the bonnet. Doggone you, better begin and play an overture upon your violin. Hurry up.
There was a man who walked the earth. He's a dust, feet in the dirt. He showed us love,
Okay,
showed us life. He showed the way. He was alive.
Nature's unpredictable, brings surprises. And day 3 kind of ended with a surprise because as I get off the boat, here's a guy called Billy and his wife Cheryl, who've been on a 4-day vacation. He's been following me and he wants to meet me, and he's there. And he says, "Hi, we're taking you out for dinner." Wow. So we went out for dinner, and Billy, he knows this area like the back of his hand.
Okay, so let's see if we get the big picture here.
Wind dikes, okay?
Okay, so here we go, Nebraska, the Missouri River.
Yep.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. So now, we're gonna zip through to something like here, okay?
And he says, "Mark, you know, it's not good weather. Do you have gloves?" And I said, "Yeah, I have gloves." But he says, "Do you have good gloves?" And I said, well, maybe. He says, "I got some poggies for you." And the poggies are a glove that kind of wraps around the paddle. And he ends up giving me those, and he ends up giving me a warm hat. And wow, what an unexpected event. What lovely people. Billy and Cheryl. Unexpected and a delight. Reverse the bad. That's what it's all about. Yeah, so that was that. Then I stayed on the boat, put up my tent, and that's it. That's where I am. And man, is it cold in the mornings. Very, very cold. Well, it's now day 3. I'm gonna get in here because it's a bit rainy. Day 3, my goal today was to find warmer clothes. I don't have enough clothes. I'm 3 weeks behind my schedule. If I had been here 3 weeks ago, I would have made it. Now, man, is it cold, and I'm just about shaking when I get up in the mornings. So I had to get clothes. Okay, I've taken the community bus service, which cost me $1 from kind of where I'm staying to a Goodwill Center. And here I'm going to buy some used clothing. I'm gonna look for some wool if I can find it. I'm gonna look for a shell jacket instead of paying like $200 for something that I might end up throwing away. So anyways, Goodwill and Donation Center. I'm here waiting for the doors to open. Okay, Goodwill clothes. Not the North Face, but this here, got that for $4, and underneath they washed it, so no big problem. Underneath is a I think 30% cotton, 40% cotton, and 40% wool, and something else. So I got 2 layers and some long johns, but I'm not going to show you that. I go to Goodwill, got that done, go for a walk to take a look at the water, how choppy it is, how horrible it is. And on the boardwalk, I meet a man and a woman called Lyle and Mary. Have a nice talk with them, tell them about my tour. I continue on to the beach to see how wicked the waves are. And then I come back and I stop at a coffee shop, and there they are sitting there, and they ask me to sit down with them. So I sit down with them and they buy me a coffee. And then he says, Mark, we really want to contribute to the cause, but can we just give you something? And I said, well, sure. And he hands me $100 and says, here, this is for your journey. Good luck, and may God be with you. Wow. Now we're getting into the higher powers here. But what a nice gesture. Thank you so much, Lyle and Mary. Maybe we'll see you again sometime. I'm sure we will. Tomorrow, I'm going to do something that I don't want to do. I really don't want to do it. I'm going to portage a section of this tour from Manistee to South Chicago. That's cutting around 8 days, 9 days of paddling. 50% of my time since I got in Lake Michigan has been downtime, and 50% has been uptime. In Manistee, I'm going on my 5th day on land. The ocean is just not calming down at all. On the app Windy, it says 15, 16 knots. And that's okay, I can do that. But not on a massive lake. You can just see, I'm inside the breakwater, and the waves are just going right across the rails, just about going over the limits, and it's impossible. So I've made a decision. I'm going to do it. Billy, who came to see me a couple days ago, he said, I'll drive you, Mark. He uses the word, I'm going to reposition you. That must be a term pilots use. He's a pilot. So he's going to reposition me. He's coming tomorrow at 11 o'clock to pick me up and to drive me to a repositioning location. So when I'm on the East Coast and I see a window of opportunity, I'm going to take a plane to Chicago and I'm going to redo this section. Extra time, extra money, but doable. Right now, this is not doable for Plan B, South Chicago, and go south. Okay, so the question is, will I regret this decision? That is the decision of portaging to possibly save more time and avoid less risk. In reality, the only decision I would regret is not to live a life of purpose and not to live a life of meaning. Those are the biggest regrets. This regret of choosing to portage is rather temporal. It's rather superficial in relation to the things in this world and the things that affect our life. In a way, I really don't want to regret this decision, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to paddle this stretch and get it done before I come home to Norway.